Welcome back to 6th ICSE biology classes. So children, in our previous session we were discussing about the structure of the cell, right? So in that we are discussing about the animal cell. So you know that in the animal cell, the animal cell is bounded by a membrane, and that membrane is called as cell membrane, right? So this is cell membrane, right? Okay. So this is called as cell membrane, and we know that the cell membrane, it gives the shape and size to the cell, and it is made up of the living cells, right? And it also protect the inner content of the cell, right? In the center we are having the nucleus. At the center the nucleus is present, and the nucleus is bounded by the nuclear membrane, right? So this is what nuclear membrane. Inside the nucleus there is a jelly like substance is present, which is called as a nucleoplasm, and in the nucleoplasm we will find the chromatin network, a thread like structures which are called as chromatin network, and the dark spherical structure is present which is called as nucleolus, right? And in between the nucleus and the cell membrane, right, the jelly like substance is present, and that jelly like substance is called as cytoplasm, right? So this part is called as cytoplasm. So in the cytoplasm we will find some of the living structures. We will find the living structures which are called as cell organelles. In the cytoplasm we will find the living structures which are called as the cell organelles, right? For example, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, lysosome, ribosome, right? All these are the cell organelles. Including the cell organelles, the cytoplasm also contains some of the inclusions, right? The non-living substances which are called as the cell inclusions, like the starch droplet or the fat droplets, right? So this is the composition of the cytoplasm, and the cytoplasm gives the physical basis of the life, because all the cell organelles are present in the cytoplasm, and cell organelles, they will responsible to carry many metabolic processes, hence it is the base for the physical life. Then we also studied about the nucleus, right? So nucleus is called as the headquarter or the brain of the cell, because it will control and coordinate all the activities of the cell. So these chromatin network will be condensed to form the chromosome, and on the chromosomes the hereditary units are present which are called as genes, right? And there is genes are many of the two types, DNA and RNA. So DNA is a deoxyribose nucleic acid and RNA is a ribose nucleic acid. And we know that these genes, or the DNA and the RNA, are responsible for transmitting the hereditary characters from the parents to the offspring. And nucleolus, it helps in the synthesis of the ribosome, right? And we also studied about the endoplasmic reticulum. So in the endoplasmic reticulum, we know the functions, right? It gives the intracellular transportation, help in the transportation of the substances from one part of the cell to the other part of the cell. And if the ribosomes are present on the endoplasmic reticulum, it is called as a rough endoplasmic reticulum. If ribosomes are absent, then it is called as what? Smooth endoplasmic reticulum, right? And these rough endoplasmic reticulum help in the synthesis of protein, whereas a smooth endoplasmic reticulum helps in the synthesis of some of the lipids. Right? So since here ribosomes are absent, it is called as a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now we'll move to the another cell organelle called mitochondria. Right? Mitochondria. So on the cytoplasm, here and there, like here, the mitochondria is present. So this is what? Mitochondria. Right? So I will label this one. This is mitochondria. So generally, these mitochondria are double membrane. They are having a double membrane, right? The inner membrane is folded. The inner membrane is folded, right? So this is called as outer membrane, right? And this is the inner membrane. And this inner membrane is folded. And mitochondria are called as the powerhouse of cells. This is very, very important to know. Which is called as powerhouse of cell? Mitochondria is called as powerhouse of cell. Why it is called as a powerhouse of the cell? Because the mitochondria is a site of respiration. What are these? These are the site of respiration. Site of respiration. What does it means that? It means that in the mitochondria, the food is oxidized. The food is oxidized and gives the carbon dioxide and releases the carbon dioxide, and the energy is produced. So here during the respiration, because these are the site of the respiration, the food in sense that glucose, right? The food is oxidized. The food is oxidized and gives out carbon dioxide and forms the carbon dioxide and releases the energy. Since it releases the energy, the mitochondria is called as powerhouse of the cell. Got now why it is called as powerhouse of the cell? Because in the mitochondria, the food is oxidized and forms the carbon dioxide and releases the energy. This is the reason that why the mitochondria is called as powerhouse of the cell, and this energy is utilized by us to do all the daily activities or all the metabolic processes. And the energy which is liberated by the mitochondria is stored in the form of ATP molecule. It is stored in the form of ATP molecule. What is ATP molecule? It is adenosine triphosphate. What is that? Adenosine triphosphate. Right? So in the mitochondria, you have to remember these are the site of respiration. The food is oxidized and producing the carbon dioxide and releases the energy. Hence it is called as powerhouse of the cell. Now next we will move to the another cell organelle called ribosome. So already we know that where the ribosomes are located. Already I told where the ribosomes are present. The ribosomes either they are present on the endoplasmic reticulum or they may be scattered in the cytoplasm, right? So these are what? Ribosomes. Okay. So ribosomes are present either on the endoplasmic reticulum. They may be present on the endoplasmic reticulum, right? Or they may be scattered in the cytoplasm. And these ribosomes are called as protein factories of the cell. They are called as protein factories of cell, whereas mitochondria is called as what? Powerhouse of the cell, right? And the ribosomes are called as protein factories of the cell. Why they are called as protein factories of the cell? Because the ribosomes help in the synthesis of protein, right? Because ribosomes helps in the synthesis of protein, and that's why they are called as protein factories of the cell. Now the next cell organelle is Golgi bodies. So either you can say the Golgi body, or it is also called as a Golgi apparatus. So the Golgi bodies, these are like this one. So they are having the disc shaped or the tube shaped structures, and above that you will find some spherical structures, right? Now let me draw here. So while you will draw the Golgi bodies, the structure should be like this. So these are called as what? Golgi bodies. So these tubular rod like structures, right? The tube like structures which are stacked one above the other and forming a pile, right? These are called as cisternae. These are called as cisternae, and these structures are called as vesicles. These are called as vesicles, right? The main function of these Golgi bodies is it helps in the secretion of chemicals, right? It helps in the secretion of chemicals. So this is the function of the Golgi bodies. So now next we will move to the next cell organelle called lysosome. So these are the lysosomes. So here and there, okay, so these are called as lysosomes. So these lysosomes are also called as suicidal bag of cell. Suicidal bag of cell. So why they are called as the suicidal bag of the cell? Because the lysosomes, they contains certain enzymes, right? They are containing the certain enzymes which are called as hydrolytic enzyme, right? And these lysosomes will kill the foreign substances. So when any foreign particles or the foreign bodies will enter into the cell. So foreign bodies, it means that any unwanted or the harmful substances when enter into the cell, right? Then these lysosomes, they kill the foreign bodies. right? And sometimes these enzymes will kill themselves. It means that sometimes when the cell is not functioning properly, right? If suppose the cell is not functions properly or any of the organelle is not performing the way it has to perform, at that time these lysosomes, they releases these hydrolytic enzymes and they kill themselves and they destroy themselves, right? That's why they are called as suicidal bag of the cell. Now tell me why they are called as the suicidal bag of the cell? Because the lysosomes are having or containing the hydrolytic enzymes. They kills the foreign bodies and sometimes they kill themselves, right? They kill themselves. That's why they are called as suicidal bag of the cell. So already I told that why and how they will kill themselves, because these are containing the enzymes, right? They are nothing but the digestive enzymes. So suppose if the cell organelles or the cell is not performing the way it has to perform, at that time they will burst out and the release is the enzyme, the hydrolytic enzyme or a digestive enzyme, and they digest everything or they kill themselves. That's why they are called as the suicidal bag of the cell. So children, up to now we studied about the structure of the animal cell, right? So in that we studied about the cell membrane. What is the function of the cell membrane? Nucleus, then mitochondria, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex or a Golgi bodies or a Golgi apparatus, and the lysosomes, right? Now we will study in detail about the plant cell. In the plant cell, so already you know that, what do you call for this one? The outer membrane or the outer covering of the cell. In case of the animal, it is called as a cell membrane or it is also called as the plasma membrane, right? So this is what? Cell membrane. Now, in the cell, in the plant cell, the plant cell is protected by an outer covering. See, an outer covering which is called as the cell wall. It means that inner to the cell wall, the cell membrane is present. So this is called as what? Cell wall. Whereas in case of the animal cell, the cell wall is not present. The cell is bounded by a membrane which is called as a cell membrane, right? So outermost layer of the animal cell is a cell membrane or plasma membrane, whereas in case of the plant cell, in addition to the cell membrane or outer to the cell membrane, there is another membrane called as cell wall, right? Now let us study about the cell wall. So this cell wall is made up of, it is mainly made up of the chemical called as the cellulose, It is the outermost layer of the plant cell, outermost protective, right? Outermost protective layer of plant cell, and it is made up of the dead cells, right? It is made up of the dead cells. It is made up of the dead cell, and the cell wall is freely permeable membrane. It is freely permeable membrane. See, while studying the animal cell, right? So cell membrane or the plasma membrane is a selectively permeable membrane. So I told that, what do you mean by selectively permeable membrane? Yes, it means that it allows only the necessary substances to pass in and the harmful substances to diffuse out from the cell. That is the function of the cell membrane or a plasma membrane. So outer to the cell membrane, right? What is present in the plant cell? A cell wall, and this cell wall is made up of the cellulose and it is made up of the dead cells, and it is a freely permeable membrane. The name itself suggests you what does it means that. So freely permeable membrane, it means that it is allowing all the substances to pass into the cell. That's why it is called as a freely permeable membrane. So now let's study about the functions of cell wall. So since it is made up of the cellulose and the non-living cells, right? It gives the rigidity, right? It gives the rigidity and tensile strength to the cell, and it is the outermost layer of the plant cell. That's why it gives the shape, a definite shape to the cell, a definite shape to the cell. And since it gives the rigidity, right? It means that it protects the cell from the mechanical injuries, right? It protects the cell from mechanical injuries, or mechanical stress, right? And since the cell wall is made up of the cellulose, and this cellulose is nothing but the stored carbohydrate, right? It is a complex carbohydrate. Okay, so it acts as a storage for the carbohydrate. Storage for the carbohydrates, right? So these are the functions of the cell wall. Now, next to the cell wall, we will move to the another important organelle of the plant cell. Those are called as the vacuoles. So this is called as vacuole. So children, in the plant cells are having a large central vacuole, right? They are having a large vacuole, and due to the vacuole, a large and a big sized vacuoles, the nucleus is present at the periphery. So here the nucleus will be present. I hope you understood that why the nucleus is present at one end, or you can say why the nucleus is present at the periphery region. Why the nucleus is present at the periphery region in the plant cell? Because in the plant cell they are having a large and big sized vacuoles. Right? So since they are having a large and big sized vacuoles, the nucleus is situated at the periphery, and same as that of in the animal cell, we know that the nucleus is bonded by the nuclear membrane. So this membrane is what? Nuclear membrane. So inside the nucleus, what is present, children? Yes, tell me what is present? Nucleoplasm, and inside the nucleoplasm the thread-like structures are there, which are called as a chromatin network, and there is a dark spherical structure is there, which is called as nucleolus. And here in the cell, in the cell there is a jelly-like substance is present, right? Same as that of in the animal cell. Now tell me, what do you call for this liquid or the fluid present in the cell? Yes, it is called as cytoplasm, right? But here in the vacuoles also, the liquid or the fluid is present, okay, and this liquid or the fluid which is present in the vacuole is called as sap. It is called as what? Sap, or it is called as a cell sap. So differentiate between this one. Remember children, the liquid or the fluid like a substance which is present in the cell is called as the cytoplasm, right? And the fluid which is present in the nucleus is called as nucleoplasm, right? And the fluid which is present in the vacuoles, right? The fluid which is present in the vacuoles is called as cell sap. It is called as what? Cell sap. So, vacuoles. What are the vacuoles? These are the fluid-filled spaces, right? Present in the cell, right? So they are usually large or they are big sized, right? And the fluid which is present in the vacuole, what do you call for that? Present in the vacuole, it is called as cell sap. And this cell sap is made up of organic and inorganic substances, right? So this cell sap is made up of organic and inorganic substances. It means that here the organic substances like carbohydrate, protein, right, lipids, and the inorganic substances like some of the minerals are present. So since all these organic and the inorganic components are present in the vacuoles or in the liquid, that's why it is termed as a cell sap. So it is a mixture of organic compounds plus inorganic compounds, and this vacuoles gives the turgidity to the cell. Yes, what does it gives? Vacuoles gives the turgidity to the cell. What do you mean by the turgidity? So turgidity, it means that since these vacuoles are the fluid filled space, right? The liquid or the fluid is present in these vacuoles. Due to the presence of this cell sap, it gives the turgidity. And due to the turgidity, the cell remains stiff. And the another main function of the vacuoles is it helps in the storage. Right? So what are the functions? What are the functions of vacuoles? So it maintains the turgidity, right? It maintain and gives the turgidity to the cell, right? And it acts as a storage, right? It helps in the storage of the substances, right? So these are the functions of the vacuoles. And children, turgidity actually it means that, for example, if you take a dry resin, right, and when you keep the dry resin over the night and in the morning when you observe, we will observe that it is swollen. It has absorbed the water, right, and it is grows in the size. It becomes swollen. So you know that why it becomes swollen? Because it has imbibed the water or it has absorbed the water, and due to the absorption of the water, the resin becomes swollen and it becomes rigid, right? So that condition, when it is filled by the water, it is called as the turgidity. And in the plant cell, we know that the large vacuoles are present and these vacuoles are filled by the cell sap, right? It means that they are filled by the fluid. That's why they will give the turgidity to the cell. So children, note down today's homework. Why mitochondria is called as powerhouse of cell. Why lysosomes are called as suicidal bag of cell? Why ribosomes are called as protein factories of cell? Thank you, children.